Hello everyone, and thank you for listening to my presentation. Today, I'd like to tell you about a little known but amazing engineer from the 1800s. His name was Robert Willis, Reverend Robert Willis to be precise, not to be confused with the Robert Willis of 1799 to 1878. Robert Willis was born on the 28th of February, 1800, and he lived in London, England, to a ripe old age of 75. During his life, he became an English professor at the Cambridge University, where he studied to receive his bachelor's degree. Furthering his education and religion, he became an ordained deacon and priest in 1827. From 1828 to 1829, he kept busy by publishing a couple papers on vowel sounds, reed organ pipes, and on the mechanism of the larynx. He had quite a fascination with sound as well as stuff to do with musical instruments. His study also on vowels laid a solid foundation for others to follow. Although these are great accomplishments and extremely interesting for some, this is not what set him apart as an engineer, obviously. So what did? What was so great about Robert Willis? Well, he actually was one of the first people from the Cambridge University to gain widespread acknowledgement as a mechanical engineer as a mechanical engineer. And his mechanical engineering acknowledgement came from his invention of the difference engine. Now, this engine was a machine that was created to tabulate and print polynomial functions. The design was completely mechanical, with the driving mechanism being driven by a wind-up spring. Now, he just invented it. This design would later be built and perfected by an engineer of the name of Charles Babbage in 1847. Among other things that Robert Willis did, he also contributed as an engineer in a few different ways. Before getting his secondary education, and due to his fascination of music, he designed and invented an improvement to the harp pedal in 1821. Later, he invented the odontograph, which is an instrument used for the laying out of the forms of gear teeth or ratchets. In 1873 is when he invented this machine. And then in 1841, the seismograph he also invented, which was an instrument for tracing the outline of an architectural molding. However, the latter was very rarely used, but in a positive note, the odontograph was widely used and was very popular. He also contributed to the knowledge base of the Mechanical Engineering Society by writing and publishing a number of papers and books, including some of the following. In 1841, he wrote The Principles of Mechanisms. In 1851, he wrote A System of Apparatus for the Use of Lecturers, and he also wrote Experimenters in Mechanical Philosophy. Near the end of his life, he devoted his time to architectural analysis and writings, which included a 4-volume treatise on the Cambridge University architecture. He also enjoyed analyzing English cathedrals, specifically the mechanical constructions, as well as some medieval castles. In 1862, he received the Royal Gold Medal in Architecture for his impressive work in his field. When he died in 1875, his work and ideas were archived at the university to be accessed by many people thereafter and become a reference for people looking into these type of things. What really amazed me about Robert Willis was that he was an English major at a well-renowned university, but he didn't just stick to that, but branched out into a number of different fields that interested him, gaining him widespread engineering acknowledgement. Thank you for watching my presentation.
Sorry.